Welcome to the Nikki Rich Show. I'm your host, Miss Nikki Rich, and today I'm excited to talk about the newly and it's releasing this Monday film Ubuntu. And today we got the director and executive producer here. We got Adam in the house, so I'm excited. Adam, welcome to the Nikki Rich Show.
Thank you very much, Nikki.
Yes, it's such an honor to be here. And, also to be a part of Dances with Film Festival. Amazing. The world premiere, as I mentioned, this Monday. I mean, how does it feel? I mean, you're getting ready. It's a big day.
I'm my stomach's turning a little bit. Monday will be the first time we actually play the film in front of a big audience, so that
Yeah.
will be new. I've played it with two, three friends here and there, but never like in a theater for an audience. So I'm excited and nervous to play it, to be honest.
Yes. Now, how did this film come about? I mean, I got a chance to check out some of it, and I say I am blown away with the stories of these powerful women. So, how did this come about?
I met through a friend, a woman named Lauren Levine, over 4 years ago now. It's almost 4.5. And she's been going, she grew up in South Africa, and I think she left when she was around 12 and came to the States. And she's been going back for the last 20 years and working with some of these women and working with Nkamba Ubuntu. And so she really got to know them. And it was her passion project, actually, where she wanted to get their story out. And she's a psychologist by trade, so she looked for a filmmaker. And my mutual friend set us up just to talk about filmmaking and what it would take. And when she told me about the story, I just threw my hat in the ring. I was raising my hand saying I'd love to be a part of this. And then the journey began.
And it was a journey. You went out and you got a chance to talk with the women. I mean, what was that experience like?
It was incredible and heartbreaking at the same time. I mean, to
Hmm.
go and meet these powerful women who've done so much with so little is incredible. To hear this story, but to hear that it's still hard, if not harder, somewhat today after apartheid has ended, which is like it just kind of stuns you to hear such a thing from them. But the experience actually to get to know them was really great. I mean, they were really open to it. I thought, Lauren was worried that it'd be very, very hard for them. And I think it was after the fact, because Lauren did a bunch of psychology therapy sessions with them just to see how everyone felt about talking about their stories. Um,
Hmm.
uh, but it was quite an experience. I'm very thankful that I got to know all of them for even that brief, for that 1 month, and to get to hear their stories live and in person.
And these are the stories of mamas of Cape Town. And I like that, within this film, they said before there is order, there is disorder. And that is so true. What does that mean to you? Hearing that.
Well, I mean, the we started. What was interesting to with this whole thing was Florence, who speaks that poem as a poet. She's a educator and a poet, and
Hmm.
unfortunately, she passed during COVID.
Oh
Um,
my goodness.
yeah, which is a real shame. So, but when she read me her poems, I just thought, what a great way to bookend the film, to start with her words and to end with her words. And
Hmm.
to hear her when she said that, when we started with it, before there's order, disorder, it just seems so true with to come, to get to the good part of something. A lot of times you have to go through a journey of going through bad. And this is an extraordinary journey of going through apartheid. And still, actually, that journey, they still are struggling today. But I mean, it's really, if you think about it, apartheid only ended in 1994,
Yes.
and which is just mind-boggling if you really think about it today. So that you're only talking about 20 some odd years of of that of change for them. And the mamas say, as in the film, they say how we are free now, which is terrific, but things are not better. And so that's really, I mean, I want to get their story out there, but I also want to get that message out there that they still need help, and then people can go and help through, donating at a UBUNTU, or just being a part of this and opening your minds and seeing how, as our world gets smaller, we need to be more aware of people's struggles all through the world.
That is so true. Yes, we do. And also, these mamas, they were risking not only their lives, they was risking their relationships, and some of them got divorces or what have you, but you guys will see it. But they were taking in so many children. It's so many things were happening. I mean, I know it wasn't easy. I know it wasn't, but we want everybody to definitely go and check it out. I don't want to give everything away, but you also had a amazing team behind you. People that you work with that also alongside you that help you to produce, and also the writer Lauren Levin. How was that like working alongside Lauren?
Well, Lauren, and that's Lauren, who is the producer and wrote it, is
Mm-hmm.
the woman I was talking about that we met through a mutual friend. It's the same
Mm-hmm.
Lauren. So she was
Okay.
there all along the way. We, crafted the questions together.
Mm-hmm.
She come up with her questions, I came up with my questions, and then we kind of molded them together. And she, because she was really adamant about, because this was at the beginning I was really unsure about it, but
Mm-hmm.
she wanted to do the interviews herself. So I actually sat behind her and let her, and she did the interviews because she wanted to be very sensitive to the mamas and their experiences, and just to be, since she knew them and had relationship with them, she felt that it was, she felt very strongly it was a much better way to go. And I appreciate that. She was just looking, she was at all times, she was looking out for them and their, and how they, their well-being. But that on the other side of it, which is interesting, is these women are so strong. Like anything that was needed in their communities, if they saw kids on the side of the street, then they created, they created daycares. If they saw kids not getting education, they created preschools. If they
Mm-hmm.
saw seniors that had nowhere to go and couldn't feed themselves, they created senior club or soup kitchens. I mean, they created everything, and they had nothing to create it with. They just had to figure it out one way or another.
Wow.
And so it's a very powerful story of seeing when you care for your fellow person, you can really move mountains to help them.
Now, what would you say was the biggest challenge, in filming?
Well, that's a good question. It was, the biggest challenge was really, I mean, it's usually like with anything, it's logistical. It's just making sure that we can get as much as we can in the limited time that we have. So it's always about figuring out your schedule and how do we get from one place to another, because not all the townships are nearby. I mean, Cape Town is not a big place, but yet you still can be driving in a whole crew of people. Even though we had a skeleton crew, still you're talking about a couple trucks, and to load everyone up and to get on the move and then unload and pack up, and unload and set up, it could take a couple hours. So it's figuring out how do we schedule it so that we get every minute that we possibly can on camera. And so I think that was the biggest challenge. And then the locations of finding out. I mean, it was very important to me to make sure that we shot the mamas, that we had depth in the picture, so that you got the depth of their character, how deep these women are, and that they were in a place that they were comfortable in. So finding, if it was like Florence at her school or in UBUNTU at her facility, or it was like it was just making sure that they were comfortable at all times,
And you know what I still love also about this film, that the kids, they still had smiles, they were happy, and you know, they were so cheerful no matter even what they were going through.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the beauty of childhood, right? As like before you're basically, as a child, you're just concerned with your little world, right? And who your friends are, and so it's a lot easier to be happy, I think, as a young child before you know too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as a child too, you don't know what you don't have, and so it's like that again. It's easier to be happy. To go back on something that I just want to bring up too, which is interesting, is that one of the things we found out while we were making the film and after was the trying to get archival footage of the mamas was really, really difficult because during apartheid, it was dangerous. They did not want to have recordings of anything. They didn't want to have
Mhm.
pictures of themselves or recordings of where they were because they could end up in jail. So it was very hard to string together finding these historical images of them and where they were. Which to think about it, what a terrible thing, even up to 94, of not having these pictures of your life because it's too dangerous to have them.
Mhm. Wow, that's mind blowing. I mean, it's heartbreaking too. With knowing, like I said, they had some risks. That they had to take. You too. Even from filming, that's a lot. You
Yeah, I mean,
know.
the townships can be dangerous. We weren't allowed to be there after dark. Uh,
Mm.
and then also Cape Town in general. I mean, it's still South Africans don't. You never see someone's front yard because they don't have them. They have walls with broken glass on top or barbed wire. So if you meet a South African that comes to our country, they're stunned usually by seeing open yards and that you can walk up to someone's front door and knock on the door. And so that society is still like that. That people feel that scared is still, there's a long way to go for them there.
For the viewers out there, when they get ready to watch this film, what is it that you want them to know, or to possibly get, take away when they watch it?
Well, I mean, something I touched upon before is that how much you can do when you just care.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's part of their incredible story is these women that cared so much about their society, about their community, and their fellow person that they did so much with so little. And I think it's like and opening your eyes up to who's around you and how we can make our society better at all times. I mean, we're striving that way, but it's always a struggle. I mean, and I think the more that we are sensitive to other people, the better society will be.
And it takes a village. I do love what one of the mamas said in the film. She said, "You have to stand up and do something," and we do. We have to do something. We have to help one another, and that's what these ladies were doing. They were helping these young children, and it wasn't just children. It was people that was disabled and you know of poverty and orphans. They were helping so many. So we do have to do something.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's really amazing and completely unselfish is how they're so concerned about the children because
Mhm.
it's only through generations that we can make society better, right? So it's by making sure that the next generation is better off than you. You leave a stone, you throw a pebble in the water and it ripples out. That maybe life can get better. And I think that they're so concerned in making sure that the children are taken care of and that they have a chance is incredible. It's incredibly to be to think that much about other people.
Is there a way that others can, I know the film is coming out, get involved, to help in any kind of way? Or do you have anything set up in that way to, even help with this film?
Yeah, well, they can go to Ubuntu the film, which is the website for the film. On
Hmm.
there is actually an area where you can donate. You can donate $1 or $5 or whatever to Akamva Labantu. The donate button will take you right to their site, and you can actually look through both sites to see, to get information and to find out. I mean, it's really in Canva Ubuntu that has all the information about what's going on there and what their programs are and outreach. And so go check it out.
Yes. And can you give us the information for this Monday? So those who are coming to Hollywood are already here.
Yeah, we're playing. It's at 7 p.m. at the Man Chinese Cinema number 6 in the Hollywood and Highland facility. So you go, it's right there in Hollywood. And so, yeah, tickets are still available and you can buy them online today, or you can wait and you get them on the day.
Okay.
But I'd love to see you there.
Most definitely at 7 o'clock, guys. Y'all gotta come and support the premiere. And I just thank you for talking with the Nikki Rich Show today. Here, congrats to you on all your success and all that you're doing. I know you had other films also Oscar nominated, so congrats to you. And I'm excited about Monday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for talking with the Nikki Rich Show.
All right. See ya.
Bye bye. And thank you guys for tuning in to the Nikki Rich Show. We were just talking with Adam of Ubuntu. So make sure you go and support this film. Thank you guys for talking with the Nikki Rich Show. And follow us at Nikki Rich Show TV, as well as Miss Nikki Rich and the Nikki Rich Show.com. Thank you guys.